I read The Fault in Our Stars this week, an amazingly human book with no aliens or futuristic wastelands, which really surprised me because I'm the type of person that will read books like Divergent and Matched, with the exceptions of Hush Hush and The Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices. But The Fault in Our Stars was written by John Greene, and he's one of the Vlog brothers, which I've never really gotten onto the whole bandwagon of the Nerdfighters and Project for Awesome. Project for Awesome is amazing, don't get me wrong, but I just haven't really gotten into it. But if his YouTube videos are as good as his books, I definitely understand the obsession. Spoiler alert! So the book is about a girl named Hazel who meets this guy at a cancer support group for kids. He basically can't take his eyes off of her, and that's how they meet. Hazel has thyroid cancer, and with an impressive, long-settled satellite colony in her lungs. August has osteosarcoma, and basically they end up falling for each other, of course. It's a Shakespearean love story. They go to Amsterdam, and Augustus dies close to the end of the book, and it ends with Hazel reading Augustus's letter to their recently post-likable favorite author. Love it and hate it. Love it. Number 1 is how smart and relatable and funny the characters are to normal people. Number 2 is how realistic it is. There's no happy endings because life sucks ass. And 3, and reminds me of why I read books, to make me think about what I'm doing with my life and how I can improve it, because most of the books I read, their lives suck. And I realize that my life is so much better than theirs. Hate it. Number 1 is how much it made me depressed. Reading this book, definitely in school, because I get so bored and I'm definitely not happy to be there at that time. But in the beginning of chapter 21, Augustus dies, and I was just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I really can't. So I put it down, and then, of course, 10 minutes later I pick it back up and start reading it. But number 2, Van Houten. I just really wish people like him didn't exist in this world, but they do. Number 3 is how short everything is. Like, there's so many things that are going on, but the details are really short. So I think that, like, when books have a lot of events that are happening and not as much detail, I don't remember them. So it's harder for me to get the full moral of the story then, I think. The thing that really struck me in this book was this quote: "I fear earthly oblivion. I believe humans have souls, and I believe in the conservation of souls. The oblivion fear is nothing else, fear that I won't be able to give anything in exchange for my life. If you don't live a life in service of greater good, you have to at least die a death in the service of greater good. And I fear that I won't get either a life or a death that means anything." I think this really scares the hell out of me more than death itself, is having no one remember my tiny little speck on the speck that we're living in this universe. And once I die, I'm gone. There's, like, nothing for me afterwards. Probably. Who knows? Bye.